I'm not looking back ever. Like, I don't plan to work for nobody else but myself. And I'm not, like, when I say this, it's crazy because, like, my mindset has changed so much. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working for no one. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you know you want to work for yourself, take that 9 to 5 as an opportunity to elevate and manifest your dreams, right? Like, I wish I knew when I was working my 9 to 5 that I could have been stacking 200, 300 every single paycheck aside for 4 years, right? To now when I left my job, I'm sitting with 30, 40K just sitting up, waiting to start my business, to help marketing, to pay for cold callers, like little stuff like that. Like, or working a 9 to 5 and getting a legit side hustle. You know how many side hustles I have now? I wish I...
Yo, just imagine having all those side hustles with a 9 to 5.
Come on, man.
And I think that's where I made the mistake, bro, because like I was so quick to step out of corporate and just leap entrepreneurship. And now when I go to the doctors, I got to pay $300-$400 because I don't have insurance.
Now I'm going to say this.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to another episode of Around the Way podcast, where we help you get around your obstacles and find a way to redesign your life. We are here with my brother, my friend, my man, Tre. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling blacktastic, bro. Like literally, I'm feeling blacktastic. Kiana, how you feeling?
I feel good. Like,
it's
really
been a
good.
long day, right?
It has been a long day, but I feel good. Like, I feel like when you're doing purposeful things, it doesn't drain you the way that some meaningless tasks can.
Nah, that's facts. What are some purposeful things that you're currently working on?
So with me being a life coach, an awareness coach, as I say, my current plight is to help people become more confident. So I guess by the time this airs, I don't know, this challenge will probably be gone, but my confidence challenge. I realize in just talking to so many people that self-doubt, confidence, insecurity are things that are plaguing a lot of people. And so just trying to create a space where you have intentional activity for 28 days that helps you rebuild confidence, because confidence is not just how you feel when you look in the mirror. It's also how confident do you feel in regards to what salary you deserve, what opportunities you pursue, what types of people you feel like you should be connected to, like it affects everyday decisions. And so that's my purpose work.
I love it. Tre, how are you living a purposeful life?
For me, I have, I guess you could say from the last, 12 months we've been in this pandemic.
Facts.
I've tried to like shift a lot of things in my life, as far as spiritually, physically, financially. So for me right now, what I'm trying to do purpose-wise, I'm trying to make sure that, the money's coming in, the businesses are starting to, flourish, but I also want to make sure that I'm still a good man in a sense, right? Like I'm still doing the things I was doing when I didn't have what I have. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Today I'm going out to one of my vending machines, and there was a guy on the side of the street, with a sign up, and I seen him come to me, and I gave him some change, and I told him, and I know this is something that's just like, anybody could do it, but I told him, I was like, hey man, you can go to the tax return place, and you can let them know that, you're homeless, and you can go and you can fill out, I think it's like an EIS or EPS, right? You can get $1,400, or whatever the stimulus was, right? He's like, huh? I was like, yeah, man, you can go and do that, like today I did something like, I probably changed that guy's month.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally, because $1,400 to him is probably like $10,000,
$10 grand.
Yeah.
Facts.
So like, it's crazy you asked me that, because like every day it's like I am doing things to try to be a better businessman, right? To be a better, trainer, to be a better artist, to be a better real estate professional. But I'm also trying to be a better father, right? I'm trying to be a better neighbor, right? Like all the little things. So right now I'm trying to like balance life out right now, right? It's like everything's going good here, but I don't want to forget about this.
No, that's facts.
So
I think that's important, man. And just to kind of just preface everything. So this guy has literally been in my life for 10 years.
About 12. Well,
12
this
years.
This is our high school anniversary year, bro.
That's 12
So it's really
years.
12 years, because we started playing ball together our sophomore year, junior year. So
12 years,
Yeah.
right? And I've seen this man transition from from athlete to artist to community activator, right? But it's the story. It's the story of how you transition and all of these different things that I think is absolutely amazing. So before we really get into the meat of the conversation, I need you to just give some background. Who are you? Like, what are you doing? Because you wear a lot of hats.
Oh, man, I wear a lot of hats, but I embrace it. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to wear these hats. You know, someone out here that's from East Durham, just like me, is wishing they were doing what I'm doing as far as adventures. But for the most part, Tre, I go by Tre. Tre Via is my full name. You know what I'm saying? Grew up playing basketball, went to Hillside, born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. Growing up, I was a basketball nut. That's all I cared about. Facts. I didn't do nothing else. I didn't party. I didn't do nothing. It was straight basketball. You know what I'm saying? Going to transition into college, I had a heart condition coming out of high school, so I couldn't really do and take basketball as far that I wanted to. So I went to North Carolina Central University, got my bachelor's degree, and while I was at Central, I was just like, man, I got to do something that kind of gives me that feeling like the crowd feeling of playing ball. So I've always been an artist, not artist, but like a musician type of guy. I played drums growing up. I played trumpet. I sung in the choir. So started singing, doing talent shows, and I got hooked. Like I got hooked on being on stage. It was like an addiction, like being on stage and people, interacting with you. And from there, I really started to become an artist, like full-fledged artist. I'm talking about being on tour. I've been on tour with R. Kelly, Tank. I've done shows with Cardi B, 2 Chainz. I've been everywhere musically, right? And so I left my job 2019 to go into entrepreneurship. Like I've always been the guy to just do different things. Thanks. So 2019, I get into real estate, come down here to Charlotte, leap of faith, no job, I'm a hustle it. Just had my daughter. She was probably 3. I think she was 2 or 3 at the time. Got into real estate, got good, continued to learn. Got some deals under my belt, became a partner of a company that was already existed before me. After that, that just sprouted me out, to do other different things. And now I got a vending machine company. I'm still doing my Forex and my stocks and all that good stuff. So, I'm just really well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? Like I try not to be in one place. And the saying, you can be a jack of all trades, but you be a master of none. Well, I look at it like, look, if I got to go make $100 every day, I got 10 buckets. I'm going to choose which gun I'm going to use, So that's me. That's me.
Facts. I think so many times, bro, and even us, man, because I feel like parts of me that most people don't know, and I know parts of you that most people don't know.
Exactly.
And the goal of this podcast is to get behind the professional, right? And I remember hearing about your heart condition.
Yeah.
And I know, you were like basketball, like it was like a frenzy.
Every day, right? After school.
Every day. So my question for you, and kind of just going back to move forward, is, as athletes, bro, this is our lifestyle. Basketball was life.
Yeah.
And you could have made it, literally.
Yeah.
How did that affect you, in getting diagnosed with the heart condition? Walk me through that process and that feeling of when you got diagnosed to really the realization that I'm not going to be able to continue to keep playing
at this level anymore. Correct.
Facts.
Man, bro, thinking about it and talking about it 10 years later, I still get emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the worst 3 months of my life, 4 months. No one really knew what I was going through other than some real close people like David Kaysen. You remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We was always tight. He was the only one that really knew what was going on. And of course my mom and my dad, but during that time, man, I lost my girlfriend who, I used to be in love with a girl. So I was in love. I was my high school sweetheart. She broke up with me a week after I found out, right? Wow. And the doctor pretty much came into the doctor's office, me and my mom, and he's just like, yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to play basketball at a serious level anymore. My heart dropped. I mean, you got to think about it. I've been playing basketball since 5, 6. Right? That was all I wanted to do. I mean, just think about it. And then within a blink of an eye, 30 minutes, one conversation, everything in your life changes. So my attitude changes. Anger. I was angry. You remember some of my outbursts.
Nah, that's facts.
End of the season. That wasn't coach. That wasn't you. That was nobody. That was just anger built in, you got to think about it. It was times when my mom wouldn't even allow me to go to the Boys and Girls Club because the doctor said he can't play ball. So my mom would say, you can't go to the Boys and Girls Club to even shoot because they know if I get out there shooting 2, 3, I'm going to be running 5s.
Man, I feel this. Like,
I mean, bro,
I feel this.
Bro, I was hurt, man. I mean, I'm talking about, like, at that point, I didn't know what depression was. I just thought, like, man, I'm just dealing with something, right? Now that I look back, I was in a depressed state, suicidal state. I was times when I didn't want to go to school. It was times, I know you remember, I used to have to carry that thing around me, that beep, like every 30, 45 minutes. Like, bro, I was in so, I don't wish that on nobody, man. Just like mentally. But on the plus side, I look at it like if I didn't go through that, some of the things that I endure every day, business-wise, right? Ups, downs, music, like, when you've been so far to the ground, it makes certain things just like, oh, man, I'm going to get over that.
Facts.
I'm going to get over that. All right, we didn't close the deal this month. I'm going to get over that. It's fine. I'll do 5 next month. I've seen it.
That's facts. I think you speak with such a testimony.
Yeah.
And there's so many people right now, and just like there's athletes right now that thought they was going to make it, whether it's on a collegiate level or on a professional level that didn't make it. There's people that got diagnosed with something that can't continue to progress forward, or people that didn't get diagnosed with something but just realize that they can't continue to progress forward. Can you walk people through how you got out of that place of depression to now being an artist and a real estate investor and all of these different things?
I think the biggest thing, I can't really tell someone how to go through their journey, right? Because everyone's journey is different. But for me, I talked about it. I didn't talk about it to everyone, but I talked to my mom, right? I talked to, David. I talked to guys that were real, real close-knit to me, neighbors. Like, people were just my Boys and Girls Club counselors. Like, don't be afraid to have someone help you through a storm, right? Because storms are going to come. And you either going to do one or two things. You're going to stand out there and get wet, or you're going to put an umbrella over yourself, right? And you're going to wait till the storm comes out, and what you're going to do? Put the umbrella down, you're going to keep walking. But what you can't do is you can't ball up. You know what I'm saying? You can't run away. At that age, I didn't understand like what I was doing and what I was going through. I didn't understand it. I just thought, hey man, I'm diagnosed, not knowing if I was going to live or not, because the doctors were saying like it was times where I could have been playing ball and then I could have just passed out. So I really didn't know what I was going through. I was literally just walking with no purpose. I'm just like, whatever happens, happens, But what I will say is, like, anything that happens in life, like continue to swing that bat, right? Continue to show up to that plate, right? Because if I never would have got diagnosed with a heart condition, I probably would have never been an artist. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
So everything happens for a reason. And I look back, I'm like, man, the stuff that I've done with music, it's like, I would have hate that I never experienced that.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Nah, that's 100.
So it's like, it's kind of like you got to give. It's like a sacrifice in a sense. Like, I'm all about the divine and the higher power. Everything happens for a reason, right? The path is never going to be narrow. It's going to be some zigzags. It's going to be some curves. You might have to make a U-turn, right? But at the end of the day, like, everything is destined, right? And so I just continue to show up every day, man. I showed up to school. I was showing up to practice. Even when I couldn't even play, I would show up. I'll be there for my teammates. Even when games, when I couldn't even dress out, I was showing up. You got to keep showing up, man. And people got to take that in everything you do in life, right? You big on business. I'm sure she's big on business. Like, it's days when we come into our business and things you don't want to do it. But the biggest successful people show up when they don't want to show up.
Nah, that's 100.
That's why they're successful. You think, Warren Buffett loved doing what he's been doing his whole life? Come on, man.
Years.
Dude.
Facts.
But he showed up when somebody else didn't show up.
That's 100.
And so that's how I live, man. That's really how I live.
What you thinking, Kiana?
I appreciate what he's saying right now. I think a lot of times we come into these conversations and Around the Way is about Kiana and Kyle, I think, and then we come with okay, how can we serve other people in these conversations? I feel like you're serving me in this conversation. And I don't think that's your intention, but I feel like you are. I don't know if you remember in our very first conversation we ever had with each other, you probably don't remember this.
No, I don't remember that.
You asked me, like, what is something that you're passionate about, or like, what is something that you love doing, or something like that. And at the time, I was like, well, I really like singing. And you're like, well, no, but what do you love doing? And I'm like, I love singing.
Nice.
I was like, if tomorrow I woke up and I couldn't sing anymore, I don't know if I would want to live anymore. And so when you said that was going to be my question, like, could you relate to that? But then you answered it and you were like, yeah, like you had these times where you didn't want to do like whatever. And then I'm like, it's interesting because you got that taken away from you, the basketball situation. I gave up singing. And so this whole question, it keeps circulating. What am I supposed to be doing?
Facts.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah,
well, you
go
just
ahead.
hit something. So I tell people this, and not necessarily artists, but I do talk to a lot of younger artists, like trying to get into the music industry and trying to, start recording and doing, projects or whatnot. And I tell them, I'm like, man, don't like, I guess I'm trying to say, don't be afraid to take that leap. Everybody gets 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and they're like, man, I could have been this. I
Right.
could have. Don't be that
Right.
guy, right? When I had my daughter at, I was like literally just graduating from North Carolina Central, and my plans was to go and move to Atlanta to go ahead and pursue music. It's a bigger scene, more networking opportunities. And so when she came, I just felt like it wasn't a good like time to make that move right then. Financially, I wasn't there, fresh out of college. But does that mean stop doing music?
Right.
People used to say, man, dang, you're about to have a child, man. I'm like, that's not going to make me stop doing music. It's going to make me want to be up to 2 a.m. now instead of 1.
That's facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like, man, when it comes to music, sports, anything like that, I tell people, man, do it. Because I remember when I was told, hey, you can't play basketball no more. Even when I see kids playing now, like I got a little brother who plays at Wingate, and I tell him, I'm like, bro, like, do you know like where, like how much I wish I was like you sometimes?
Facts.
Like, don't take a day off. Every game, try to get every rebound, try to get every steal. Like, because once it's over,
It's done.
Yeah.
it's over, bro. It's over. Like, we almost 30 now, bro. And now 10 years ago, what were we doing?
He was rocking them.
Playing, going crazy. And I know it's times, like, it's no way you don't think, like, man, I wish I could just have, like, one more game with the
I
fellas.
tell her that all the time. Like, we talk about that. Like, I miss it.
And it like, and with you, the sports and like track and stuff, it was taken from you.
Yeah, it was. I got hurt in college.
Okay, that's right.
So I think for me, bro, like, it's so interesting because I miss everything about it. And it got to the point for me where I just stopped talking about it. To the point where I would literally meet people and they didn't know that I was a Division I athlete. Like, I stopped talking about sports. They didn't know that I played ball in high school. They didn't know. They didn't know at all. And I blocked that part of my
I
life
don't even
out.
watch sports like
You-
that.
I stopped watching, bro.
I was just about to say, when I was diagnosed and like once I got in college, once I knew it was over, I did not watch basketball like that. I was diehard UNC fan. I can watch it now, but I couldn't even watch it. Like, I couldn't even watch it. I ended up taking a coaching job at the Boys and Girls Club like 2 or 3 years into 2 and 3 years into being in college because I missed the game so much. That was my way back. I was okay with, I can do it now.
Facts.
And then when I did it, I got so passionate about the youth. And that's when I was doing Parks and Rec and all that stuff. So I'm getting into the Boys and Girls Club and, I'm doing DPR and I'm coaching now. I'm like, dang, bro, it's
It's the adrenaline. It's like,
that's it.
it's like anybody that's listening right now, any of our audience members, like, it's either you know or you don't.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like there's somebody on here that knows that feeling when you come out like, remember Hillside games where we would come out,
The band playing.
and the band is playing, the cheerleaders,
Cheerleaders right
and
there.
the crowd is going crazy just for coming out for warm-ups.
That makes you feel better than anything.
That's it. Like, we made it, y'all. Like, it's packed, and it's just like you singing, and then people are in the audience like rocking with you. It's just, there's no feeling like it, and it's one of those things that you said, bro. Like, you better appreciate this shit before
Take
it's
it for
gone.
granted. Do not take it for granted. I didn't know we can cuss on this podcast.
Yeah,
but-
keep it real.
Well, he did it. And I was
Hey,
like,
look,
yes.
look, I get a few out.
Get 'em.
But like, yeah, like if you're listening, like, and I hope it's a lot of younger audience members. Like, man, don't take nothing for granted, man. Like, because when it's over, it's over. Like, when I'm done rocking the stage, it's over. It's no, like, because everybody can't get back on the stage at 40, like these legends. Everyone can't do that.
They're not making those no more, bro.
When it's that too. When it's over, bro. Like, I actually opened up for Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. They didn't have Ralph, right? So new addition. And I'm looking at these guys go nuts at like 55, and I'm like, bro, y'all must have been some animals at 16.
Nah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I look at them, I'm like, this is like a prime example of like they did what they love to do. Now, granted, that might be all they know, but they did it.
They did it
to the best. They did it, right? And when I look back on everything I've done, I've done it though. You know, now of course I haven't been to the highest level with the music, but it's like I can say I've been in front of 10,000, right? I've done multiple projects, so like even if I never be that big mainstream guy, I swung the bat.
You experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like one of those things. Like, let's say there was I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was an NBA player, so it was it doesn't matter his name. It does matter, but I want to just tell the story. So it was a guy that I was listening to a speech once, and he was talking about how he got to college and he was working hard. He was a basketball player, working hard. He played. I can't remember what school. Doesn't matter. I'll find it out, and I'll come back with another podcast, and I'll tell you about the story. But he was playing at school, and he went to his coach, and he was like, "How can I play in the NBA?" Right? And his coach was saying like really? Like you? He was coming off the bench at the time. So then his coach said, well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. The next year, he lost 25 pounds, came back, and was sixth man of the year. Next year, he came back, he was starting. Next year, he came back, they went to the Final Four. Then he was on track to play in the NBA, kept going to his coach. He was on track to play in the NBA. First game, he came out, broke his foot. 6 games later, or like 6 months later, he came back and broke his other foot. Literally. So he gave up his dream, called his father. He said, son, what do you want? He said, I want to play in the NBA, daddy. He said, then go do it. So he went back to the summer, and he was the first athlete that came that was undrafted that actually started the first game in the NBA because he kept working, right? And he didn't have an amazing career. I think he only played like 3 years in the league, but he talked about this story that sharks can only swim forward because if they swim backwards, they'll die. Literally, like sharks are like one of the only animals that never stop swimming. Literally, and I had to research it because I was like, maybe he's just capping on the speech. But literally, I looked it up, and certain sharks, they can't, if you pull them backwards, they will literally die.
Oh, wow.
And he talked about the story about how we got to live like sharks, and not in more so of like an eat all of the different things mentality like we're taught, but more so like you got to keep progressing, you got to keep swimming, and you got to keep pushing forward, and don't let anything pull you back from what you really want, or you will die. And he was giving this speech, man, and it was so profound and it was so powerful. Anybody that's watching on YouTube or listening to this, comment under the man's name. Because it was such an amazing story. And what you said, like, when it's over, it's over. But do it when you can, and do it to the best of your ability, because he said and he was talking about the feeling of being on the NBA court, starting as an NBA player. And then looking back 3 years ago when he was riding the bench at a college game and putting in that work for 3 years to start on an NBA team. Like the first undrafted rookie to start. And it's just like, yeah, you may have not had a LeBron type of career, but you did it. You could come out opening night to a full arena full of people. And I think we overlook those wins, bro. Like we don't celebrate people unless they're like legends. It's like, nah, like, and then we talk about NBA players. Oh, he's trash. Nah, he's in the NBA.
Right.
Did you see the video? It came out. Scalabrini, they called him the White Mamba, and a high school player called him out. And I was telling guys, I'm like, man, I don't think y'all realize, like, when you're a pro at any level,
you on a different level, bro.
You're on a different level. Like, and he's what, 6-8 years removed from the league, and he's still going like
You're on a different
level, man. It's a reason why he was there. But to bring something up, man, about what you said about, that story, I was looking back. I did my own self-reflecting, from a year ago. Like a year ago today, or a year and some change ago today, that's when I really got into real estate, like really dive forward with it. And I remember like January 1, 2020, when I was like, man, if I can just get 1 or 2 deals before summer, right? Mm-hmm. Like that was my thought process, because I was just getting into it. I didn't really know. So like every day I was getting up and I would make like 25 to 50 calls. Mm-hmm. I'd send out 25 texts. Every day I go by, every day go by. No deals. I'm just keep swinging. And I look back today and I'm like, bro, I'm closing 2 deals next Wednesday, just closed 1 last Tuesday. But it was only because I didn't quit. Mm-hmm. You know how many people that get into this, like get into certain things and they're like, man, after 30 days, they're like, man, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, and then it's like, once it gets there, everyone's like, man, like the only reason why, you can afford that is because of boom. I'm like, bro, do you not know the nights?
You didn't see the work.
Do you know the courthouse runs, the DoorDash times I had to DoorDash just to make ends meet because I wasn't closing deals, and I was living off Forex and freaking DoorDash. I was like, I don't care what you got to say. Like I'm here now. You feel me? And I look and I tell people, man, like it's so cliche. Like keep working. Man, that is 100% true, man. Keep working. We young now. People live in the
able to be putting in this work.
You're not. 25 to 30, 35 to 40, go nuts. You want to leave and do a business and just take a leap of faith, do it now. This is the best time to fail.
No, that's facts.
Because once you get 35, 40, it's time to buckle down.
Yeah, that's that's powerful. I got a friend of mine, she's in her 40s now, right? And we was having a conversation a few months ago. And she was communicating how like she envies me because she can't take the same risk at 40, with a daughter and a career like I can at 28. Mm-hmm. She was like, I take a risk now. I can't bounce back the same way. You got 12 years to get to the point where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 28. So the perspective there, or even my father talking to him like and starting his business, he's like, nah, I can't take that leap. Or my mother leaving a 6-figure career, but you could be making millions doing something else. But it's like, nah, that security at 60 or 50 years old, it looks different because you can't. She was like, I can't put in them hours anymore. Yeah. If I can have a job that I can only work 30 hours a week that pays me $150 a year, I'm cool.
And you're going to be saving.
Exactly. So, now I have benefits. Now I have this. What about if we get sick, Kyle? What if we do this? At 28, y'all better jump. Y'all better stop playing.
I left my job August 2nd, 2019, and I'm not looking back ever. Like, I don't plan to work for nobody else but myself. And I'm not, like, when I say this, it's crazy because, like, my mindset has changed so much. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working for no one. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you know you want to work for yourself, take that 9 to 5 as an opportunity to elevate and manifest your dreams, right? Like, I wish I knew when I was working my 9 to 5 that I could have been stacking 200, 300 every single paycheck aside for 4 years, right? To now when I left my job, I'm sitting with 30, 40K just sitting up, waiting to start my business, to help marketing, to pay for cold callers, like little stuff like that. Like, or working a 9 to 5 and getting a legit side hustle. You know how many side hustles I have now? I wish I
Yo, just imagine having all those side hustles with a 9 to 5.
Come on, man.
And I think that's where I made the mistake, bro, because like I was so quick to step out of corporate and just leap entrepreneurship. And now when I go to the doctors, I got to pay $300-$400 because I don't have insurance.
Now I'm gonna say this.
You know what I'm saying?
Now everything ain't pretty about what we do. Hey, look, let's just be real now.
Facts.
The insurance is tough.
The insurance is tough. And yo, shout out to my boy Doug Depp, real estate investor, man, out of Philly, man.
Okay.
He was talking about how he worked a 9 to 5. He has 100 units now, roughly. I ain't gonna put all his stats out there.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how he worked a 9 to 5 for 7 years. 7 years working 40 hours a week. And he already built 30, 40 units. You still going to work? He said, I use my 9 to 5 benefits and my 9 to 5 salary to fund my empire.
There you go.
We're going to take a commercial break.
There you go.
All right, we are back with Tre.
Yep.
And this has been an enlightening conversation.
Facts.
I feel like anybody listening would definitely get something from this, just from the constant pursuit of dreams and maybe it not manifesting initially, but kind of staying the course and having that faith until you can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
moving on. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
Switch it up. Here's the fun part.
Okay. Let's do it.
So there's a red box in the middle of the table. I would like for you to take the red box. The box has questions in it.
All right.
I would like for you to blindly pick a question and read it and answer it.
All right. Let's see. Just one?
Just one.
All right. All right. It says, think about the person in your life that's closest to you. What would they identify as your biggest weakness?
That's good.
I would say, it's crazy 'cause I'm trying to think. I want to make sure I'm being completely honest. I would say my lack of communication when things are tough. Like, I'm the type of person, and a lot of men that look like me, you would know, we keep a lot of things in, right? With operating multiple businesses and trying to be a father and still trying to pursue music and, just getting my master's. Like, it was a lot. It's been a lot going on in my life for the last 3-4 years. And I feel like I bottled so much anxiety, right? And I never communicate. I just act, like not in a bad way, but like just, I'm bad at letting people know. Now at this age, like when I was younger, I could talk about things because I'm a kid, but like now I feel like I have to be like this guy that's like, nothing's wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Mental health, like, not checking in like I should. Right. So I would say like communicating about what's going on, internally. And I've been doing better with it, honestly. Because mental health is so real. And I didn't realize it until becoming an entrepreneur, honestly. How tough, it is. Everyone wants to jump into it, but it's a mental drain sometimes. Like, it drains you mentally, and it's like sometimes you don't got it. Sometimes I can't talk about it because I'm like, man, I just want to lay down. That's true. Or I need to have a drink or two by the fireplace. I need to relax. So I would say that, like communicating when things are not good. When things are up, oh, y'all want to go out to eat? Y'all want to go on vacation? Everybody know when I'm up, but when I'm down, right? It's like, because that's really the part that people need to know about the most. Yeah. Now that I think about it, like, we'll talk about it when everything's good, but when you're down, that's when that person or, your mom, brother, sister, girlfriend, wife, husband, that's when they need to know the most what's going on, because that's when you're the most vulnerable.
Man, that's good, man. And I think it's so interesting how you can know somebody and not know somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we struggle with the same thing. I feel like when things are going well, everybody knows. Like, I'm talking about all my wins, baby. Yeah. But when things are challenging, when let's say you're not making as much money as you expect, or you're not, getting leads to build businesses, or you're just not feeling it, or you don't really want to be a parent today, or all of these different things, I don't talk about it. And I've learned, as I've really spent time more so like self-reflecting, when I get to those points where I feel like I'm backed in a corner, I just create another business opportunity, or I create another product or a service. So when y'all see me come out with something new, just know I'm going through it. So just check on your boy. Send me a DM or something.
No, it's real though.
Yeah,
that's real.
It's
though.
weird, bro. So like, how would you recommend, or shoot, you can coach me. Like, what do you do in these times that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, bro, I hit the gym. Whether it's me going in there, I've always been a guy that's been in shape, and end up getting once I got more serious when I was working with the Boys and Girls Club and Parks and Rec, I ended up getting my certification, to be a trainer, group and personal. So, I got more comfortable with that within the last 4 years. So like, for me, man, I'll work out. Shoot, if you need to get you a cigar, like, everybody has their own way to cope, and to deal with it. I can't tell people what's best, but sometimes it's like just walking, man. Go to a lake. You know what I'm saying? Take yourself on a trip, right? Like, even if it's just you and a friend, or you and a family member, just go to the beach for the day or two. Like, rewind, refocus. I did it. My mom's birthday was this weekend. I mean, my mom's birthday was yesterday. We celebrated this weekend. Went to the beach, and like I just like really didn't bring my laptop. Like, which is crazy for an entrepreneur. You gonna bring that laptop?
You know it's real.
What? Like, I ain't bring the laptop. I literally just had my phone. But like, we were out doing stuff like playing games on the beach, and you know what I'm saying, like going like sightseeing, and I really like rewinded, and it was like so much of a mental reset that I was looking forward to Monday. Now that's different.
That's
when you look
deep.
forward to Monday as a business owner, oh, you about to crush it.
You about to have a hell of a
You
week.
about to have a hell of a week.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes like you can't be afraid to say, "Hey, Cal, relax. Put the laptop down, man. Put the phone down." And the only reason why I'm saying that, bro, because I'm you.
Nah, facts.
We the same person.
You speaking, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, go out to eat and leave the laptop, right? When you out to eat, don't be on the phone. Go and watch a Netflix movie for an hour and a half.
Facts.
Give yourself something, man. Go to happy hour, man. Shoot, go get you a cocktail. You know, like it's okay. You got to give yourself that balance, because what I think we do so much is work so hard to try to make sure everything's like we're building this empire, but you can be building one thing and you can be like tremendously damaging another. Meaning here, like you gotta take care of that mental, man. So that's what I've been trying to really tap into. Like this summer, I'm really gonna just be vacating. I'm gonna be going to the lake to go fish, ride 4-wheelers, like stuff that I normally wouldn't do.
Facts.
You know, that I've learned that I like about myself. Like, I didn't even know I liked riding 4-wheelers until last summer. Right now, I'm thinking about every day I go past the Polaris shop. I'm like, man, they might get me today. You know, so it's like, treat yourself, man, and like take pride in loving yourself to where it's like I'm finding stuff out. Right, take pride in it, man. Like, I like going to the lake now. I didn't know that 2 years ago. Go to the lake, I'm like, dang, man, I can't wait to get on a boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, find out about yourself, because, like, we gonna hustle.
Yeah.
We gonna always hustle.
I think that's my challenge that I'm in that season of right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to provide so much for other people that I feel like I forget about providing for Kyle. Because even when I do go alone somewhere, like I'll go to a happy hour, I'll go to a dinner by myself. Dude, I had my laptop in a movie like 3 weeks ago. Literally. Like that's when I feel like that's that moment, that I realized, like, dude, you got to slow down, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, I was in a movie theater watching a movie with my laptop in the next seat next to me working.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nah, this is not life.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like it gets to the point where I don't have balance. So it's kind of like on Monday, I'll work 15 hours. On Tuesday, I won't work. On Wednesday, it's Carter the whole day.
Yeah.
On Thursday, Carter again.
Yeah.
On Friday, I don't feel like doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, well, damn, what did I do this week?
Yeah.
You worked Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, it's challenging to sometimes find that balance.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, as a father, as a business owner, as somebody that's called on by the community, feels the pressure and all these different things, it's kind of like you got to sometimes put boundaries, not for other people, but sometimes put boundaries for yourself.
Yeah. You know what? And another thing too that I've been doing a lot lately, say no, man.
That's the big
I've
thing.
gotten probably 2 business propositions like from friends this week that I know I'm gonna say no to. and it's not like nothing. It's just like sometimes you gotta say no, man. I'm already stretched thin. Like I'm started a vending machine company that I'm like literally learning about, and I'm trying to add more machines and trying to scale while I'm still running a business that I want to make sure it grosses $1 million this year.
Exactly.
While being a father, while still trying to make sure I record and go, still do the things that I have a passion for. So when new things come that I'm not ready for, like before 2 years ago, I'd have been like, heck yeah, let's do it. Let's meet up next week. Now I'm like, nah, man, it's not for me right now.
See, that's me.
That is.
That's me. And we talked about this on a podcast, that I overcommit myself. Like I'll have a lot of different pots burning at the same time, only to realize that I went upstairs for 5 seconds to come downstairs and the whole house is on fire. And I'm like, oh snap.
Say no,
I was just
man.
trying to make the noodles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
say no.
That's the big thing right now.
Say no, bro. Because you, and what I know about you, man, you're super talented, super driven. You know, I've known that about you since we were young, man. I mean, you don't even know it. Like, I remember being in class and I was just like, bro, I gotta get a better grade than him. We used to have like competitions, man. Like, he was so smart and I was always like behind him in academics, you know, and I'll just be like, this dude right here, I already knew, like, where you're at right now, I already knew it.
I appreciate it.
I already knew it. But what I will say about you is you care so much and you want to be so good that you forget about you, bro. Because it's like I wear many hats, you wear many hats.
Facts.
Right? But I think the difference between me and you, I'm gonna tell you, nah, bro.
That's facts.
You want to do it because you want to help.
Yeah.
Right? And you want things and you got a good plan for it.
Yeah.
You know how to get it from A to B. Right? But it's like, man, do things for yourself and just say no and let them know. And it's one of those things too. If they don't understand it, they shouldn't be your partner anyway. Right?
That's
like,
deep, bro.
For real, man.
That's deep.
Because that mental health is never gonna, like, you're never gonna see yourself become healthier mentally unless you start doing things that's healthier for you. So take the load off. Build what you're already trying to build now. And everything else, like we said, we got a lot of time, bro.
Nah, that's on it.
You know, if God's willing, we got a lot of time.
And I think sometimes for me, bro, I feel like I'm rushing against the clock.
Ain't no clock, bro.
And I feel like from this perspective, so I feel like I go so hard so that I don't become my father. And I love my dad. And you've met him.
Yeah.
I love him so much. And he was an amazing father growing up. But I've seen how he went from community activist to helping other people to changing lives to stagnant and mediocre now and not really living a purpose-driven life, right? And I look at that and I'm like, damn, Dad, like, I want to be able to be that son that helped you, that puts you in a beach house somewhere, or now you're flying on my private jet. I want to show you the possibilities of life because clearly you're not going to do it. So I want to be that son before you pass that. So every year he gets older, I feel like that's one less year that I have with him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's I guess it's a self-limiting belief. You know, we all, and again, anybody that's in the audience listening to this right now, this is just the real. Yeah. So I feel like I'm rushing against not my clock because I know I got time. Yeah. I'm rushing against the clock because I know my pops ain't got time.
Hey, that's deep, bro. And I'm gonna be real with you. That's deep. You know, because I mean, you're right. Like, to think about it like that, yeah, you're right. But what you also have to think about too is you want to make sure you can get on that plane with them too.
Kyle, let me ask you something. Because I'm hearing something from you, and I don't know if you like have the answer or not, but like, I know a lot of your decisions are driven by your dad, your perception of who he is now, who he was, and the disconnect that you see between the two. A lot of the things that you do, I know you credit it as, I grew up seeing my dad help this woman, help these people, bring these kids into our house and all of this stuff. Have you ever asked him what the correlation is between those things and where he is now? Because my concern for you has always been that you give so much to people that cannot pour back into you. Do you think that there's any possibility that your dad did what you're doing now and he poured everything out?
That's a hell of a question.
That's gonna make you think there, bro.
I don't have an answer to that. And you know, usually I'll try to just finesse some shit, but I don't know. And I feel like that even if Pops is listening to this right now, like, just know that this question is coming, brother.
Because you may be like creating the cycle that got him to where he is by you trying to prevent it from happening to you.
It's kind of like you become what you hate.
Yeah.
Like you don't. It's kind of like you're trying to avoid something so bad that you end up literally becoming it. And it's like, dude, you're just recreating it. Like, no, we need you to do this differently. Yeah. But then from on the flip side, you know, like my mom, she's amazing, but she has selfish tendencies. So it's kind of like I'm in that middle where it's just like, I don't want to be overly selfish, but I don't want to be overly everybody else. Yeah. So, and that's why I said earlier, like that balance piece is critical. Yeah. So it's kind of like I ask God every day, like, where do you need me to sit? And, you know, I've heard conversations like, I just got to be submissive to God's plan for me, because maybe how hard I'm going in this direction may be not where God needs me to be, and he needs me to slow it down so that I can be able to be present going this direction.
That's deep, bro.
So I don't know. And that's why we're here.
That was a great question too. That was really a great question.
I saw it. I heard it.
Yeah. And that's something that, and anybody listening right now, just to kind of reset, I want you to ask yourself that question. Are the decisions that you're making recreating the cycle? Are the decisions that you're making yours? I think a lot of times we make decisions, we create behaviors, we create habits in the name of breaking generational curses to only find out we're really perpetuating them.
Yeah.
And for me, when I look at my dad was the type, still is, he's just a workaholic, right? Like workaholic. That's what he did. Like he's been this way. My dad didn't even come to the beach this weekend because he's addicted to working. Like it's really weird, right? But he's a super nice guy. He'll help anybody. You know what I'm saying? He has his savings intact. It's not like he doesn't spend money like that.
Facts.
He just works. But for me, what inspires me is not necessarily to work like how he's working now at the age 55, 50 plus, but to get it out the way now, building empires, collect and buy the assets that's going to pay me for the rest of my life to where I can sit back.
Like that, yeah.
So what I did was I said, okay, I see what you're doing. I don't want to do this long, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go crazy for 5-10 years. I'm going to put it all out there. So when I get to that point, when I'm 35 and I really want to retire and I got 3 businesses running by itself, fully scaled, rental properties, cash flowing, passive income, stock portfolio is booming, and I can sit back and just, hey, Kyle, man, you want to go to Miami for the weekend, bro?
Yeah.
On a Wednesday? You know what I'm saying?
We'll take my jet, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's my inspiration. And because it's crazy when you said about your dad, I'm like, dang, for me, it's like my dad inspired me so much, but he made me I was like, hold on. Like, it's like looking at it 2 ways. It's like, I see what my dad doing, but hold on. I want to just get the right here to it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, without having to do the crazy, 40, 50, 60 hours. Like, nah. Like, I want it, and I want to own it too.
That's 100. Like, I never want to be that kid, and this is no knock to anybody, right? And I'm no better than anybody else, but I never want to be that kid where your parents are a Walmart greeter. I never want to be that kid. Like, I go to certain restaurants or even hotels, and there's older people, like grandmothers, cleaning up rooms or greeting people when they walk into Walmart. That's not the story that I want for my parents.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever. I never want to be able to send my parents will never be in a retirement home because I've seen what they've done in there. Yeah. I've seen how there's discrepancies, and I see how there's mishandling of patients and different people as well. And I'll never want that. So I think I have to do a better job with definitely creating balance. I have to do a better job with not recreating the cycle and sitting and trusting God enough so that I can accomplish what he wants, but in his timing and not trying to force my timing.
That's facts, bro.
What you think, Aki?
No, I think that's good. I think
she gonna hold you to it though.
Nah, facts.
Oh yeah, sometimes he don't be wanting to hear that. There was a point that was brought up earlier that I think is important, just to kind of touch on about basically taking time. I know that sometimes it can be easy because I'm kind of like this. When I'm like overwhelmed or something, and then I'm like, I just need some time. You know how to say that. Like, I just need some time. Like, I'll be back, but I just need some time. And I think a lot of times we have the inclination to like shelter ourselves or like distance ourselves from people. And a lot of times it makes us feel worse because it's like I took time by myself and now I feel lonely. And then when you're lonely, now you start to think about all these like bad things or like things that are not right. And then you have no one there to really check you like, girl, that ain't really, the case. Or you can sit and kind of harbor emotions about things. And so I like what you said, because when you said something about going out of town, you mentioned taking somebody with you. Like, I feel like most times if anybody has ever like gone to lunch by themselves or like gone to a movie by themselves or gone out of town by themselves, you still want to interact with other people.
Yeah. Nah, that's
it's
facts.
like you get there and then you like
trying to find somebody to talk to.
Yeah. Or like afterwards, now you want to like try to tell stories to somebody that wasn't there. Like, why didn't you just take that person with you if you want to come give a play-by-play of everything that you experienced in the time by yourself? Like, I just think that tendency to like want to push people away when we're feeling away makes us feel worse.
Yeah.
No. God didn't intend for us to be alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have to have a good balance between your individuality and your alone time. But I feel like it's intended for us to experience life, even through the challenging times, with someone else.
Yeah.
Whether that's an accountability partner, a spouse, a friend, a parent, a child,
Yeah.
whoever that is. Like when I'm down, like I really enjoy my times with Carter. Like, cause he is literally the life of the party. So we'll go to Frankie's and hop on a go-kart. We'll go to Frankie's and go bowling. Cause I've now recognized that I really like going bowling. Or I'll play the games with him and it's like, yo, like I get more like intense than he is.
You get away from reality for a little bit.
For a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is enough.
And it's enough.
Yeah.
So I guess, this conversation is solid. It definitely is solid. So I want to ask you this question. There's somebody right now that's listening to this and is like, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Is somebody listening to this right now and is like, yeah, these are all theoretical, or this worked for you.
Yeah.
Right? There's somebody listening to right now that's like, all right, what are the actual tangible or practical steps that I can take to get the hell out of my situation? Give it to them.
Well, I can tell you what I did. When I told myself top of 2019, right, end of 2018, when I'm learning Forex, right, I had a plan. I was like, I'm gonna leave my job, and I'm gonna leave my job off of one or two income streams, just to kind of establish what, what I need financially, to really get the ball rolling. So write your steps out, right? I'll tell people you need about 4 to 5 income streams, right, to really thrive as an entrepreneur, unless you just got a booming business.
Nah, facts.
Right? So come up with 4 or 5 things. Just write it down. And if they can make you $1, if they can make you $1, $50, $100, whatever it is, write it down, right? And what you need to do now is find a way to be better at those 4 things, right? So when I was working my 9 to 5, I was a trainer, I was doing Forex, I was doing music, and of course I was just doing stocks, right? Like those 4 things, that was my bread and butter. And I said, all right, I need to make sure my fitness company can get me $500 a week, right? Whatever the number is, I need to get 500 from Forex. I need to get everything to replace the income that I get every 2 weeks. Once I did that for 6 months, I said I can do it another 6. My ultimate goal was to let real estate be my main vehicle. That was my ultimate goal. But I know in real estate, it's not a walk in the park. It's going to take you 1 to 6 months or sometimes a year. In my case, almost a year to get your first deal, right? But I knew if those other things
were rolling.
All right, now when you take that leap, right, and you got those income streams coming, and let's just say 2 of them just don't go your way. All right, well, what you going to do now? You got to find another 2, right? I started going to plasma, man. I was trying to I'm gonna get it. I'm plasma, now I'm doing DoorDash. You get what I'm saying? Like Uber, Lyft, like little things. Just hustling. Got my first deal, top of 2020, never looked back. But it took 6 to 8 months just to get that one deal. It took me 6 to 8 months to realize all the work that I had been putting in for 6 months, to witness it. But once you get it, once all that work you done put in and you get it, now you all right, bet. Now I'm getting another one. I need another one. So what I would tell people is to have a plan. Don't just, you got a lot of people getting into stuff because they see it on YouTube, like Forex, for example. Man, I studied that for 2 years before I really moved, right? Really move forward with it. Stop thinking that everything's going to be an overnight success. Your journey of entrepreneurship, building a business, being a personal trainer, it needs to be a marathon, not a sprint. Don't just try to leave your job. It's not going to work. If you just try to just leave your job in 30 days, hey man, 30 days I'm out. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but it's going to be an extremely hard task.
Exactly.
Right? Have a plan and have a legit goal and have systems that get to that goal.
Facts.
Right? Don't just say, hey man, I'm going to leave my job in 2019. Well, what are going to be the systems that you're going to put in place to make sure that goal is manifested? Right?
Man, what you said is so powerful, man. And this has been such a rich conversation.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. But I think anybody listening right now, I need you to understand this. One thing that he just said is that it's a process. I need you to, I'm going to say it. Stop leaving your job. Stop leaving your job before you're ready. There's a difference between overcoming a self-belief and feeling like you're confident and being overconfident and being ignorant at the same time because you don't have the resources, you don't have the plan, nor do you have the actual skill set to be able to deliver at a high level. Follow the process, trust in God, Continue to stay the shark and continue to swim. Continue to swing the bat, like Tre has said.
Yeah.
And whatever obstacle gets in front of you, continue to take your time so that you can reflect, so that you could be resilient, and so that you can realize the promise that God has for you. Tre Via, Around the Way podcast. We'll see you guys next episode.
Bye, guys.